Well, Atlantic City is near and dear to my heart. As a kid, we came here every summer, so I love Atlantic City. And having a home in Margate, just a few miles away, this is great. And this is what we do. We go in when there's chaos, or we go in when there's problems, or you name it. And Atlantic City is ripe for coming back. Not to be as good as it was, but better than it ever could be. Thank you.
Mayor Don Guardian of Atlantic City, here live at the beautiful new playground on the boardwalk, broadcasting after Bart Blatstein just presented a fabulous program of new entertainment venues for music, great concepts in sports, outdoor adventures as well, and valet parking, so you come right up to the boardwalk. Most exciting, by July 4th of this year, first 6 venues that are featuring a myriad of different musics are going to make you feel like you're on Beale Street in Memphis. Behind me, some of the renderings. About 1,000 people came today to hear Bart speak with Paul, his architect, and we're real excited. This is the beginning of the new Atlantic City. It's the beginning of the playground. It's the wow factor we've been trying to create.
Hi, my name's Steve Sweeney. I'm the Senate President of the state of New Jersey. We're here in Atlantic City in a very, very exciting time when Bart Blatstein, who is a successful developer, is going to breathe new life into this pier. It's going to create so much excitement and a new destination. Atlantic City is coming back, and this is the start of it.
Well, this is a great day for Atlantic City. We've had so much bad news. We need this energy and enthusiasm that Bart is providing with a guarantee. He's got so much personal put into this that you got to believe that we're going to succeed. 900 jobs is just the beginning. This is a partnership that's been working on bringing things together for a long time. I think this news will spur other good news, and it couldn't come at a better time.
Thank you, Whitney. Yes, I'm very, very pleased to be here, be back in Atlantic City and developing this unbelievable new entertainment district, this entertainment project called The Playground. We're very, very excited about creating a live music culture in Atlantic City and then having a building that celebrates the beach, the boardwalk, the ocean, the air, the sun, the sky, actually make this building a part of its beautiful, beautiful site. It's one of the most unique buildings in America on one of the most unique beaches, and it really can be named in the same name as Bourbon Street, as Beale Street, as Music Row in Nashville, and very much so, it can become the center of entertainment of Atlantic City and of this great boardwalk. So I'm very excited to be actually here doing it.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for coming out. I saw Ken Ortsman. Ken, you here? Bart just wants to make sure you're not going to evict us. Right? Everything good? Okay, so. Hey, you know, the last time I made a joke about Caesars was when they went into bankruptcy, and 2 weeks later the governor gave me 2 bankruptcy guys. So I should lay off Caesars for a while. I just want to say that I'm glad that we're all playing in the same playground once again. So the turn of the last century, a gentleman comes and builds a pier here, calls it the Applegate Pier, thinks that retail would be a good idea, doesn't quite work, sells it to a guy that we know as Captain Young, brings in entertainment, retail, very exciting opportunity. It becomes the $1 million pier, and right through the 1960s, it's a hot spot in town. And so that burns down, and we build a kind of a mall, and then we look to the experts, Caesars, who has this great place in Las Vegas, to build this beautiful facility. And about half of the stores are doing really, really well, and they're still here, and the other half look like this. And so now we've got to find out, how can we make this an exciting factor again? We know that we just don't want to be a casino town. We want to be the world's playground. And so this place has got to be the wow factor that brings you in. Now at first, finding some 60-year-old white guy that spends his summers on a deck in Margate doesn't seem to be the right pick. But if you've been to Philadelphia, if you've been to Northern Liberties, and you see what Bart has done by blowing up the old brewery, creating a piazza, and then creating everything from a classic, iconic Jersey Shore diner to a tapas restaurant, to a coffee house, and the excitement even during the winter that you see in Northern Liberties. You got to know that this is the guy we need here in Atlantic City. And so now it's time for Atlantic City to take its place again as the world's playground. We love our casinos. I love my casinos. They pay taxes. They hire people. They're good. We just need something more. And this is the something more. This is the wow factor that we have. Before I introduce Bart, I just do want to recognize some of our elected officials. It's great. Thank you, Congressman Obiando, for traveling down from Washington. Of course, one of the best friends to Atlantic City, Senate President Sweeney. Senator Whalen, Assemblyman Mazzio and Assemblyman Brown, County Executive Denny Levinson, County Freeholder Director Frank Formica, County Freeholders, Council President Frank Gilliam, council members of Atlantic City, thank you so much for coming in as we give you the new Atlantic City. Now, without further ado, it's a real pleasure to introduce the guy that thinks outside of the box, the guy that's going to bring us that wow factor, the guy that's going to create the new playground for Atlantic City. Please get up for Bart Blatstein.
Thank you. It's a little strange seeing my wife stand and clap for me. Firstly, I'd like to thank Algar Motors for providing over $1 million worth of Ferraris in the front. That's just a symbol of what this pier is going to become. John Stango, my friend from Philadelphia, world-renowned artist, for providing the wonderful graphics in the front also. For Electric Factory, for the entertainment today. For the staff at the pier who worked so hard to put this together. For my team at Tower Investments, always by my side, always great. I hope I didn't leave anybody out right now. This was supposed to happen over a month ago. And Mayor, we know why this didn't happen. We all know why this didn't happen. Because the mayor wanted to report and speak to the press about more bad news in Atlantic City about the rebel. No, Kevin, don't get nervous. Kevin Ortzman, president of Caesars. We can take a stand up, please. Kevin's near and dear to my heart. Cameras. From barely talking to speaking 4 or 5 times a day in the last couple of weeks and calling each other Kev and Bart. That's what has happened. Next to him is Lynn Hughes, counsel for Caesars, who I met 21 years ago. She had to be 15 years old. I have great memories of Caesars. Kevin's predecessor, Arthur Goldberg, 21 years ago, and I did a deal in Philadelphia when gambling was first reported to be happening in Philadelphia and in Pennsylvania. And I have very fond memories of Caesars. And so for me, this is a coming home for Caesars. And I look forward to working with this great company. I'm very lucky. I mean, this pier is attached to Caesars, and millions of people a year visit Caesars. And I'm hoping that we're going to bring millions of people here to Atlantic City and to Caesars. In fact, I commit and I promise you, this will become the #1 tourist attraction in Atlantic City. Mike, I always wanted to do that. Mike, I guarantee it. How did I get here? A guy named Dave Lee, a family friend from years ago, a former cop in Philadelphia, started calling me last spring and saying, Bart, you've got to come down the shore and look what's going on in Atlantic City, look at the opportunity here. And I said, absolutely, Dave, absolutely not. There's no chance in the world I'm leaving Philly. I've been developing for almost 38 years now, and I haven't left Philly. Oh no, Bart, you really have to see, you have to meet people. No, Dave, I'm busy. I I started to put a block on my phone for Dave to make sure that his calls didn't get through. So he called the office and spoke to Tina. Finally, he convinced me to have a meeting. And my cherished place in the world is Margate. I have a deck on the beach, and I escape the world by sitting on my deck and just staring at the beach and the ocean. And it's my quiet place. And Dave insisted on bringing a couple people over. And so he brought over on a sunny day Council President Frank Gilliam, please, and Roy Foster. Is Roy here? Where's Roy? And Dave Lee. And together they sat on the deck in their t-shirts, shorts, and bony middle-aged legs, ruining the whole chi of my whole deck. And sitting there trying to convince me to come to Atlantic City. As some of you may know, I tried to get the casino license in Philadelphia, and I was unsuccessful. They kept hammering at me and even insisting to come to Philadelphia and see my work. And they came, and they kept calling, and they kept calling. This is very unusual for elected officials to come and say, please, what can we do to help? I knew that something was strange down here. And then I started reading about this guy. I have never in my life met anybody like him. Don Guardian is a superstar. The man is the right person for the right time for the right job. He is unbelievable. A cheerleader like I've never seen. I thought Ed Rendell was a cheerleader. This guy blows him away. And then one day, my good friend Bill Sassa, my trusted confidant, says, you have to meet Senator Sweeney, Senate President Sweeney. So I go to West Deptford to go meet Senator Sweeney. I always thought West Deptford was next to Deptford. It's not. It's a time zone away. I got there late. Remember, Jim? My wife was with me. Got there late. And I met this guy right over here. The likes that I've never met before. He's the President of the Senate of the state of New Jersey. It's a big state. He's from West Deptford. And he committed and put his whole reputation on the line to bring back Atlantic City. And it was after that meeting that I knew I had to be part of this resurgence. I just wanted to have a little piece of this. But when you have the mayor, the Senate president, council president, councilman, everybody pulling in the same direction, it's a harmony that you rarely see. Democrats, Republicans, from all over the state, and I knew at that point I had to be part of this. But how do I get involved? So the pier was for sale. It's a very complex deal, and Kevin and I did a very complex deal, literally in days. And we're here. The pier is a symbol. It's a symbol of what Atlantic City is going to become. You see, in Las Vegas, they started to transition in the 80s. The gaming revenue and ratio to non-gaming revenue is 30% gaming, 70% non-gaming. Atlantic City is juxtaposed, it's opposite. So it's time to bring it back. There are 30 million people within an easy drive of Atlantic City. Before I signed the deal for the pier, someone said to me, but 4 casinos have been lost in the last year. But 8,000 people have lost their jobs in Atlantic City in the last year, the highest percentage loss in the entire country for a city. But visitation is down to 24 million people. And that's when I stopped and went, oh, I gotta be here. A city of 39,000 people, 24 million people visiting here. That's outrageous, in spite of everything. Philadelphia, with a population of 1.5 million people, it would be the equivalent of 900 million people visiting Philadelphia. It's got a magnificent beach, magnificent boardwalk, and I just knew this was it. So we laid our stakes here in Atlantic City, and today we're going to unveil what we're going to do. Firstly, I'd like to say, I'm going to show you what we do in Philadelphia. Mike, I love doing that. That just happened like an hour ago. We did this thing. Please roll the Northern Liberty Slackers. That's Northern Liberty. To put in perspective, it was a neighborhood, an area, a whole area, that we wouldn't allow our female staff to walk around without an escort. That's how dangerous and that's how bad it was. Now, I'd like to show you what Atlantic City is going to become. I met along the way a man, Paul Steelman, in going for the casino license in Philadelphia. I have met a lot of professionals in my almost 40 years, and I have never met anybody so talented, so nice, so level-headed, so well-respected, and Paul and I became very, very dear friends. It's only fitting that Paul is my partner here. Paul grew up 4 miles away in Long Park. Even though Paul has offices in Las Vegas, Saigon, Macau, Singapore, and over 400 professionals working for him, Paul's roots are here. Paul's a spectacular guy. He's the brightest man I know. He's the only one that is bright enough to be part of Glenn Straub's Rebels House of Geniuses, or whatever it's called. I'm sure that'll get reported somewhere. Anyway, with Paul here by my side, this place can't fail. It won't fail. I don't want it to sound boisterous, but I've never failed in my career. I've never not picked an area that was going to turn around. And there's no way at this stage of my career, this is not going to fail. This is going to be the greatest success of my career. And I couldn't be happier to have Paul by my side. And with Paul by my side, I'd like to unveil the playground.
Thank you, Bart. Wow, what a speech. Thank you so much for this great introduction. As Bart said, I'm a kid from Longport, New Jersey, who has gotten involved in this business, and I've had a few moments here in Atlantic City that I consider were pretty signature moments. When I worked with Steve Wynn that developed the Golden Nugget over 35 years ago, well, that made my life. When I renovated Showboat, gave it the New Orleans theme, and reclassified that and allowed it to make some money, that was great. When we came up with the pool after dark for Harris As a tandem-based attraction, well, that was another great thing that I think happened in Atlantic City. But now, this particular moment is really something special for me, and special for me to work with Bart. Bart, when I worked with him in Philadelphia, sounded an awful lot like a guy that this town used to love, named Steve Winnie. Steve, you would come out with these incredible things, these incredible activities to do, to combine a series of great events to create one great based entertainment attraction. Of course, he did it when he was here, and now I listen to Bart, Bart's requirements, Bart's dream, and I think that we are going to really do a very, very special building here. I got about 20 emails the day it was announced that I was partners with Bart. Said, Paul, congratulations, you just bought the ugliest building in the world, and this is going to be a super challenge for you. But it's not really a challenge. It is a celebrated site. It is a gorgeous structure without windows that looks out. It's unbelievable. It has incredible potential to be a new entertainment district in Atlantic City. And that entertainment district being based in live entertainment, not just for kids, but for guys our age, for people that are middle age, for an expanded, distinctive market. We all know gambling is a tandem-based activity. We've done that in Las Vegas for many years. The Macau government has actually woken up to it recently as well. And the Macau government has required tandem-based activities to complete the entertainment experience. And that's what we're going to do here. We are going to do it. Now, there's a famous book, many of them might have read it. It's called The Last Good Time. It's a chronicle of the 500 Club on Missouri Avenue. My parents love that book because they experienced that. But we don't think Atlantic City is up for its last good time. This is going to be its first good time. It's going to happen at the playground. So I'm going to show you a short video that will show all of the features and attractions here, and then I'll just say one other fast word. So go ahead. The master plan in Atlantic City is pretty simple. starts at this beautiful ocean. It goes to the piers that Atlantic City became so famous for over the years. It then goes to this most famous boardwalk that is an incredible thing that nobody ever has anywhere in the world, and I've been everywhere. Then it goes to these great casinos, and the casinos are doing some of the things. We had dinner at Gordon Ramsay's last night, a fantastic addition to the Caesar's Palace menu and lineup there from a tandem-based activity perspective. We want this place, the playground, to be the capital of entertainment in the East Coast. We wanted you to say Beale Street in Memphis, Bourbon Street in New Orleans. We want you to see Austin, Texas. We want you to say, hey, wait a second, this is as good as Music Row in Nashville, Tennessee. This is going to be the capital of entertainment in the East Coast, and we want to be mentioned shortly in those same words. So thank you very much. Thank you to Bart. It's a big experience for us. Now I'm going to turn it back to the mayor. Thank you very much.
Bart, I don't know if you realize that this is a very historic moment. Back in 1776, our forefathers wrote a constitution guaranteeing every American the pursuit of happiness. Today, you bring that happiness to a whole lot of people. You're creating a wonderful opportunity for people to come and party. And that's what we've been looking for. I think it's a great addition to the gaming environment that have been created over the last 35 years. And I thank you for joining our city. It's going to be a number of reasons to love our city once again. I'm sorry, I missed my counterpart, the mayor of Egg Harbor Township, Sonny McCullough. Thank you for joining us today. You didn't succeed in joining the one court yet, right? You're still, okay, all right, Egg Harbor Township. The next person I'd like to introduce has been probably Atlantic City's biggest friend. He is here to help us redevelop this city, make it the best that it can be, and have the state come in with some of the funds that we've been giving to the state over the last 35 years to help us reinvest right here. And whether it's the new Grow New Jersey Act that you'll see so many businesses taking part of and bringing new jobs and businesses, or the 5 bills that eventually will get passed that's going to save our city, it is my esteemed pleasure to welcome the President of the New Jersey Senate, Senator Sweeney.
Good afternoon, everyone. Isn't this a great day? This is the beginning of the new Atlantic City. There has been so much negativity. Listen, I gotta tell you, this guy is a phenomenal mayor. And me and Bart talked about this. The right guy at the right time to lead this city into its future. You know, there's been so much negativity about the end of Atlantic City. Well, you know, it is the end of Atlantic City the way we know it. It's not a gaming community. It's a resort destination. That's what we have to get to. Las Vegas figured it in the mid-'80s when they had to. We're doing it now. This is the first of several exciting things that are going to come. And I got to tell you, see, Bart, I was excited because I live right across the river. And Bart's a can-do guy. Not somebody says, I'd like to do something. What do you think about something? He says, this is what I'm going to do, and it works. And with his partner, Paul, again, we're so fortunate to have 2 guys that are committed to this region that have done so much with their lives to actually make a difference in everyone else's life. So I want to thank both of you guys for this opportunity to show the world Atlantic City what it really can be. We got knocked down. The old adage, all your eggs in one basket, it's true, it doesn't work. But as I tell everybody, every chance I get, the best of Atlantic City is to come. It starts here, starts today, and Don, instead of all the negative things that we've been hearing, we'll probably have 1 or 2 along the way. There's going to be more positive announcements over the next several years, and Atlantic City is going to be exactly what we expected it to be. The top destination, playground, whatever you want to call it, in the world, like it was before. So thank you, Bart, Paul, Mayor, keep up the good work.
You know, we're rebuilding the city because everyone is getting along. We're playing with everyone, we're working with everyone, the casinos, the businesses, the residents in town, all on the same page. You know, I'm blessed to have 9 members of City Council that are working with me working with them to make sure we move our agenda ahead. And just as important it is for us to work with county and state legislatures and all of the help they're giving us, it's also important for us to work with the federal government. And I couldn't have a better partner in Washington, D.C. than our long-term Congressman Frank LoBiondo.
Well, thank you, Mayor Guardian, and thanks to all of you. It is a really exciting day, and the partnership in Washington extends to my colleagues in the United States Senate, Senator Menendez and Senator Booker, that have been joining in with everything that we've been trying to do from the federal level here. You've heard a lot of details, but to me, what is most exciting about today, Bart, is your energy, your enthusiasm, your optimism, which is contagious, and it's exactly what we need right now. All the negativity that we all know has been pouring down on us, it seems to have just begotten more negativity. And the partnership has been outstanding. Mayor Don Guardian, City Council, the state of New Jersey, my longtime friend Steve Sweeney, who has pledged repeatedly that he will do whatever it takes from his position as Senate President with the state of New Jersey to bring Atlantic City back. This is the type of partnership that the outside world is looking for, but they haven't had a chance to hear about. And Bart, thanks to you and Paul, I think that today starts to reverse that. And if anybody comes away with meeting with you, and we haven't met, and I don't know you, but if anybody comes away from meeting with you or listening to you and doesn't share that contagion of enthusiasm, then something is wrong. So I'm very appreciative to be here today to say for the partnership, congratulations, and we know that you'll do well. Good luck.
Well, it's time to party at the new playground. Harry, I'm glad you kept the call letters because once again, we will be again the world's playground. I hope you're all going to be coming back as T Street opens up for this summer. But now I'd like to turn it back over to Bart for some closing comments.
I'm being told to open up for Q&A.
Hold on 1 second so he can hear.
Ruben Kramer, Press of Atlantic City. Can you just tell us who owns this pier?
This is what they call ground lease. I own the building. And we have an agreement forever. Way long past I'll be here. And thanks to Kevin and his crew. We own the pier.
Bart, Chuck Darrow from the Daily News. You know, some of us were here maybe 10 years ago, maybe 11, in the same space, and we were told that this was going to be the greatest property that Atlantic City or anywhere has ever seen. It's going to change things. What about this project will succeed where the space hasn't in the past?
Well, it was poorly designed. I mean, almost $250 million was put into this pier. And it was a pier on the beach, the most fantastic location on the East Coast. I've never seen a pier like this anywhere in the country. But it's closed off to the outside. We're going to open it to the outside. We're going to put windows in. We're going to open up. We're going to add restaurants. We're going to add more high-end shops. And we're going to add 14 venues for entertainment and live music.
Bennett Pinky Kravitz here in Atlantic City.
You're a famous guy.
Not as much as you. Let me tell you, on behalf, and I will tell you, I guess I can be a spokesman for the people of Atlantic City and the people of the surrounding area, to let you know that you, and it was put very nicely between all of those who spoke, as to what you are doing for Atlantic City and what's going to happen. Without a doubt, there are many jobs that will be created. There are many things that will happen within this community that will make it all more exciting. And that's what we need, just what you're doing. So on behalf of that, I'd like to express my appreciation to you and to Paul Steelman, who I've had the pleasure of interviewing, and one of the finest gentlemen when it comes to being an architect. He is the top. You've done the best. We're with you and help you in every way we possibly can. We're holding out our hands and saying, please, help us. Now you are. Thank you.
Thank you. Is Tina Roberts here? Put Pinky on the VIP list, please. Yes.
Hi, Sharon Harris, Casino International Magazine. When do you expect to start and be complete? And also, what kind of projections on temporary and permanent jobs, since so many people here are seeking employment?
It's a great question. There are approximately 400 jobs here today. I was concerned that with the pier going in the direction it was going in, that all those jobs are going to be lost. So we not only intend on keeping those 400 jobs here, we intend on creating 500 more jobs here. Also, T Street, which is located on the first floor, this is called 39 North, T Street's right there, and then the Monkey Bar in the middle. That'll be open by July 4th weekend. And the second and third floor, the bowling alley and the sports venue will be open by the end of the year. Preferably by Thanksgiving, but by no doubt, no later than Christmas. As long as we get our permits, Mayor. But then again, we work before without permits. I'm sorry, Kevin, you didn't hear that.
Cleve Brown, CBS 3. So a lot of this has the outdoor theme. How do you keep it going the rest of the year when we only have good weather here, 3, 4, 5 months at best?
Well, that's the beauty of live entertainment. We are going to be the music capital of the East Coast, I guarantee it. We have, again, 14 music venues. So when you change up your music, you're changing up the theme all the time. And we'll have live music here all the time, every week. We're also going to program this. We're going to have parties here, events. This pier will be filled with thousands of people for New Year's Eve. If there's not a holiday, we'll create a holiday. We will have events here every week.
Other questions?
Can you elaborate on live music a little? I mean, is it going to be bar bands, or are we going to see headliners? And how is that going to work in terms of the other venues in town that kind of have locks on bookings?
I guess the best way to answer that, if you've ever been to Nashville and been to Music Row, or 6th Street in Austin, or Beale Street in Memphis, it's going to be like that, storefronts with live music. We will groom musicians, and we will have name acts here also. Yes. We'll have anywhere from a few hundred people in one of the small venues to 30, 40, 50,000 people out on the beach.
Greg Adamitis, NJ.com. Have you been to Xfinity Live down by the sports complex, South Philadelphia?
Yes.
And is that the similar theme one can imagine?
I would have failed if it was going to be similar.
I think we're going to end on that note. One more, I'm sorry, Chuck, last question.
One of the problems that has been inherent in this property certainly from when it was converted originally into stores, was parking. And not just parking spaces, but the time it takes to walk in the distance from Caesar's parking garage to the pier. Is there any plans to somehow, alleviate that or improve that?
Yes, Kevin Ortzman has pledged to me he will tear down Park Place and build a $100 million garage. It's in the fine print. We will initiate valet parking by next week. So if you don't want to come through the casino or use one of the garages there, we will have valet parking. You'll be able to pull right up. Thank you very much. Please stay, enjoy, eat, and drink, and great seeing you.